Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, mentors, student alumni, parents, friends and families, and of course, introducing to you the future of Jordan. Team 1. It's wonderful to see you all. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm going to speak to you a little bit later, but for the moment I'm going to hand you over to your host for the evening and someone who's been my pillar of support on the programme. It's my colleague Stuart Leach. Many thanks.
Good evening everyone, welcome. I thought I'd surprise all the students by trying to look smart tonight. Trying very hard to live up to them, so well done, well done. I'm only going to speak for a few minutes now, very quickly, just to introduce the event. Just to let you know what's going to happen in your time here. First of all, we have a couple of guest speakers who we'll introduce to you. We're then going to have some speakers from the programme itself. And that means we've got some students that are going to speak, some of the alumni and some of the mentors are going to tell you about their experience. What we'll then do is the actual award ceremony itself, where the students will be presented with their certificates. So you'll get to see them all coming up onto stage, getting their certificates, having their photos taken. And then we're very lucky that we have Mr. Peter Millett, the British Ambassador to the He's going to say a few words, and then it'll be unfortunately passed back to me to close the event. So, what I must first do is talk about our sponsors for this event, the King Abdullah II Fund for Development, established by Royal Decree in 2001, and very much around supporting the community throughout Jordan, communities throughout Jordan, to try and drive development right across the country. And we're incredibly lucky that we've had a partnership, a successful partnership with them for 6 years now. And we've been very lucky to have been involved in a number of programs with them, including, this is now the second one of these programs. And we really thank them for the support that they have given, not only to this program, but to programs throughout Jordan to help build the country and develop everyone across all the communities in the country. So thank you very much indeed. We are very fortunate that we are joined this evening by the KAFD Fund Director, Mr. Kays Katamain, who is going to come and say.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. سعادة السفير بيتر ميلت سفير المملكة المتحدة في الأردن، سعادة الميجر جنرال أخو دينيرو، سعادة السيد جيمي جوردن المدير التنفيذي للبرنامج، وعطوفة ممثل معالي وزير التربية والتعليم، الأهالي الكرام، الآباء والأمهات، زملائنا وإخواننا الطلاب المشاركين بهذا البرنامج، وزملائنا المرشدين التربويين، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. منذ تأسيس صندوق الملك عبد الله الثاني للتنمية جاء في أحد أهدافه الرئيسية دعم كافة الجهود التنموية والتعليمية في الأردن. ولقد حرص طيلة السنوات السابقة على دعم الأنشطة والبرامج التي تحفز طاقات الإبداع والتميز لدى الشباب الأردني وتنمية قدراتهم. لقد عمل الصندوق وشركائنا في الانسبيريشنال ديفلوبمنت جروب في هذا البرنامج على بناء المهارات القيادية والريادية في مرحلة مبكرة من عمر طلبتنا، وذلك ليتمكنوا من المساهمة في ضمان مستقبل مثمر للأردن. فهم قادة الغد الذين سيعملون على بناء المستقبل القادم الذي نريد بإذن الله. السادة الحضور، لن أطيل في كلمتي هذه، واسمحوا لي أن أتقدم بجزيل الشكر والتقدير إلى شركائنا المؤسسة IDG Group أو Inspirational Development Group على جهودهم الكبيرة والمتميزة في نجاح هذا البرنامج، وكذلك اسمحوا لي أن أتقدم الشكر الجزيل لكافة المرشدين الذين عملوا معنا في هذا البرنامج، إلى زملائنا القائمين على مدرسة كينجز أكاديمي على استضافتنا ورعايتهم لهذا البرنامج، ونشكر أيضا الطلاب، وأنتم بالنسبة لنا نجاح البرنامج يتوقف على وجودكم ومشاركتكم وما قدمتوا فيه، فأتقدم بالشكر الجزيل لكم على التزامكم في هذا البرنامج، وأمل أن يكون قد حقق الأهداف المرجوة في تنمية مهاراتهم المختلفة. وقبل أن أختم اسمحوا لي أن أتحدث باللغة الإنجليزية لأشكر شركائنا في هذا البرنامج. Your Excellency, Major General Arthur and Jamie Martin, and all our colleagues at the Inspiration Development Group. We would love to extend our gratitude and appreciation for this beautiful partnership that we have built together. We extend special gratitude to Mr. Peter Minnet, His Excellency, for the great support he has given not only to King Abdullah Fund and the programs we do, but to Jordan as a whole. And I would like to say a few words on this program as we are today celebrating with our partners a second batch that we're proud of their graduation and the result we had. King Abdullah Fund and IDG Group work together in this program to provide the opportunity and to develop the self-confidence and leadership qualities of young students so they can make a significant contribution to the successful future of Jordan as a whole. We would like to thank you all for all the support you did in the program, for the great work you have done, for the beautiful additions you have added to this year, and we look forward to continuing this partnership. Thank you again, and thank you for listening.
A number of you heard several references there to a company called Inspirational Development Group, and you're probably thinking, well, who are they? So let me just tell you very quickly a little bit about us. Before I do that, sorry. First of all, I should tell you a little bit about the aim of the program. To provide the opportunity to develop the self-confidence and the leadership qualities of young leaders in order that they can make a significant contribution to the successful future of the Kingdom of Jordan. So this is about taking young men and women and helping to start them on the path to being the future leaders within Jordan. And we're not just talking about necessarily in government positions, we're talking about in business, in work. People who know what the examples are that they should be leading by. They know the right behaviours, they know the right things to do, so that people will look up to and respect them throughout their careers in the future. And that's not just in the business place, that's when they go to college, when they go to university, wherever they go in life, so that they can demonstrate those behaviours. The programme itself, as many of you know, started back in June with an assessment centre, 120 candidates, and we picked the best 70, and they have been fantastic. They've come here now, they've been here for 3 weeks, and during that 3 weeks we've covered 3 different areas. So in the first week they talked about teams, in the second week we looked at them as individuals and we got them to understand a little bit about individual differences, and then this week, the third week, has been focused on leadership. And I can honestly say that the exercises that we've seen them do over the last couple of days, the standards that they've achieved have been absolutely fantastic. These 3 weeks have included a wide range of interactive activities, some theory input, and lots of practical exercises. It's not been about sitting in a classroom listening to people talk. It's been about doing things and working with them to see how they behave and making sure that they're doing the right things when they work together. And when things go wrong, as it did with one group yesterday, that they have the toolkit to be able to turn that around and still turn it into a success. We've also had the opportunity, came to a head this morning as well, to give them feedback on a regular basis. So for many of them, they've had an opportunity in just this 3 weeks that I wish I'd had when I was their age. And I'm sure that many of us that are a little bit older in the room are probably looking at it and saying, yeah, we wish we'd had that opportunity as well, as a way of preparing you for the world. A lot of the things that we've covered in this 3 weeks and on this programme is not just relevant to business. A lot of them are life skills. They're the very skills that these young men and women should be able to use every day from now and going forward. So what about us? Inspirational Development Group, we're a leadership and management performance business, Our mission to create sustainable, so lasting and measurable change in individuals and organisational behaviour. We've been around for about 15 years, 14, 15 years, and we are global. We have offices all over the world, and we have associates and consultants working all over the world. We use innovative, robust technology, some of which we design ourselves, and we're very lucky this evening that one of our guests here this evening is one of the directors from IDG, Mr. Jimmy Gordon, but you will hear from him a little bit later. One of the really interesting things though about IDG, and something that we're very proud of, is that we have a very close association with Sandhurst. Many of you will have heard of Sandhurst. It's where the British Army trains its officers. It's been the home of officer training in the British Army for over 200 years. And we have a very close association at Sandhurst with Jordan. And you can see that here. This was an occasion where King Abdullah II was visiting the academy. The picture you can see there of him is with the commandant at the time. He was trained at Sandhurst. So there is a close association between the two. And we're pretty good at what we do. As a result, we win quite a lot of awards, so we're not bad. And hopefully that's reflected in the results that you've seen in the young men and women that have been on this programme. We're very lucky in that today we are joined by one of our colleagues, a gentleman who works very hard, not only as an envoy for IDG in this part of the world, but actually for Britain as a whole and for the Royal Family. Major General Arthur Denaro, former Commandant of Sandhurst. The students have been fortunate enough to have a short talk from him this afternoon. He's very kindly offered to come and say a few words this evening. General, would you like to join us?
Salam alaikum. Oh, I wish I could talk more Arabic. But can I just say what a huge pleasure it is. A huge pleasure it is to be here with all of you. As you've heard, I had a session this afternoon with the young graduates, and although they might have thought I was a little grumpy because one or two of them were sleeping during my talk, I only get grumpy because I am a terrible sleeper also. So every time I sit in a seat in one of these huge lecture halls, I think it is a sleeping bag, and immediately I fall asleep. But I miss so much when I sleep that I get cross when people sleep during my talk. Can I say that they are a great bunch, and you should be very proud of them, all you parents and grandparents and relatives. They are a wonderful bunch, and I hope we will all applaud them loudly as they get their awards. I love Jordan. I have been coming here for many years, and I feel it almost my second home. I had the great honour of knowing His late Majesty King Hussein really quite well, and we were special force officers together, and he was the father of one of my cadets, in fact 2 of my cadets at Sandhurst when I was the commandant, in the sad year that he died. May God rest his soul. And we became great friends, he and I, and he introduced me to your wonderful country, and also to Sidi Hassan, who I saw yesterday and who is also a great friend of mine. Young Prince Hamza and Prince Hashim were with me, as I mentioned, and they too have been wonderfully welcoming to this great country. But the country is not just about that wonderful family. The country is about the great people here in Jordan, who I have growing admiration for. Every time I revisit, I see how magnificent, how strong, how courageous you are in what are very difficult times. And I just want you to know that you have many friends and admirers all around the world, but particularly in Britain, which has that close association with you all. But to see the way you have been so steadfast in these dangerous times, but also so generous, both with your spirit and with your worldly goods, to all those whose lives have been less fortunate than ours. And we see them every day, and our hearts bleed for all of them. But it increases my admiration for all of you. So coming here to Jordan is for me a huge honor and a huge pleasure. And when His Majesty took over, he and I had also known each other for a long time through our soldiering, and he and I would talk about leadership. And it was his idea that a leadership course should be developed for the young people here. And only yesterday I was visiting His Majesty. He was pleased to hear that all the students here had worked so hard. I told him they had. And he was hugely pleased that this course is so popular now under the King Abdullah Fund for Development. He, as the aim of the course says, he wants the best of the young people here in Jordan to be well trained, to take on their responsibilities, to contribute to this great nation. And it is our honor and our privilege as IDG to help you do this. I'm also immensely happy to say that my suggestion to him that the Crown Prince would become the patron of this course was very favorably received. And I have been speaking to young Prince Hussein's office only yesterday about this. So, I just want to leave the students now with, the graduates I should say, with 3 tips for them. They had to listen to me earlier, I tell you. They have 3 tips now, and these 3 tips are underpinned by the absolute requirement for you to live honest lives. Integrity is absolutely the most important thing. The difference between right and wrong. It is about doing the right thing when nobody else is watching. You have to be honest with yourself, with your family, your friends, and the people who you work with, because that underpins civilized behavior. So my 3 tips, the first one is professionalism. And I mentioned it earlier, being the best. Doing the best you can, because second best is not good enough. The second is a deep care and consideration for all those around you. And again, I talked about it this afternoon, but it is essentially being there when others need you, and not just your friends. Be careful of strangers, of people who are unhappy, people who are less lucky than yourselves. So take great care of people. And the third one, which ties all these things together really, is communication. You must communicate well. You don't have to be able to stand and speak necessarily, but you must set an example which communicates what you feel and what you should do. This is really important in this high-tech world where everybody relies on Facebook and tweets, emails, and text. What you must do is smile at people. You must thank them. You must thank the people who clean your rooms, or give you the meal, or drive you here in the bus. You must make a real effort to thank people and to acknowledge them. You must look for people who are unhappy, and as I used to say to my soldiers, put a hand on a shoulder, which would make people feel that they belong. So communication is the critical one, and I wish you, on those three elements, the very best of good luck. I know you are good fun, I know you are interested, I know you are a happy group. I know you will be very good. Thank you very much.
Hello. My name is Emily Glanville, and I'm one of the IDG consultants here who have had the great privilege to have spent the last 3 weeks with these young people here who have been truly fantastic. I would also like to thank you, Major General Gennari, for your lovely speech, and I'm sure they will take on board your words of wisdom, so thank you for that. Now, what I think you've all been waiting for, at least in my opinion, what I've been waiting for, is to hear from the students themselves, to hear what some of our students have to say about their own experiences of the last 3 weeks. So it's my great pleasure, and please join me in welcoming Layla, Abdullah and Tara.
Here I stand. A wise man once said, when you have one eye on the goal, you only have one eye on the path. This is the dilemma I face with our education system. We are so focused on a goal. But the truth is, we are more than robotic bookshelves conditioned to clear up facts we were taught in school. We are all very special. Every human in this planet is so special. So aren't we all deserving of something better? Of using our mind for innovation rather than memorization, for creativity rather than futile activity, for rumination rather than stagnation. I am not a worker. A worker is someone who's trapped within repetition. I am a human being, a thinker, a dreamer, an adventurer, a leader. And I finally had an opportunity to explore my potentials. The Youth Leadership Development Program gives you an opportunity to be confident, to stand up, ask questions, be critical, and create your own perspective. It provides you with intellectual capabilities that allow you to expand your mind instead of directing it. Because the thing about this program, it doesn't teach you, or show you, or tell you how to be a leader. It makes you do it. So here I stand. I'm not standing here as a valedictorian by myself. I was molded by my environment, by all of my amazing colleagues who came from different places across the kingdom and are sitting here watching me. It was all of you who truly made me the person I am today. It was all of you who were my competition, yet my backbone. In that way, we are all valedictorians. So I'm now supposed to say farewell to this program, but I hope this farewell is more of a see you later when we come back to the next phase, because we are the leaders of tomorrow.
Good evening, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, and the graduating from Youth Leadership Development Program of 2014. First of all, we want to thank all the people who helped us to improve our leadership skills, especially the mentors, and King Abdullah Fund for the development. These 3 weeks will be unforgettable and come only once in a lifetime. We met new people, made a friendship that will last forever, and discovered a lot of things we did not know about ourselves. We learned how to be great leaders and how to work as one team with an excellent performance. Youth are the future of this country, and we want to thank His Majesty King Abdullah II for giving us this chance to develop ourselves to be the best future leader that this country needs. Together, together, together. That is how we do it. That is how we grow and make this country better. And thank you for listening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. gather here to celebrate the graduation of the 60 youth leaders of the 2014 YLD program. My name is Tara Jalal, and I am proud to say that I am one of these 60 youth. And now, I'd like to talk to you about my personal journey in this program. Well, everyone who knows me knows that I'm a really nervous girl, especially when I do and try new things. And that was my status at the first week of the program. Tala, the nervous girl. I felt I was going down, but I decided to face my fear. So I started to cooperate more. I started to grow as a leader, as a person in a group with a bunch of strangers who became my friends. But unfortunately, when I got off my nervous zone, I got in my leading zone. And that happens when I become a leader. You see, at the first time I decided to be a leader, I decided to be a cool one. So I let my team members decide everything. I let them do whatever they want. But unfortunately, that didn't work. So at the second time, I decided to be a strict leader, but also that didn't work. At the third time, I decided to be a strict leader, but at the same time, a cool one. So I finally succeed. And that's what I most like about this program. It gives you the chance to succeed and tell you that life doesn't end when you fail. It actually begins at that point. So please, everyone, don't waste this huge opportunity because it's going to lift you up high to the sky. Thank you.
Right, follow that. One of the most gratifying and somewhat exceptional aspects of this second programme was the student alumni from the 2012 programme volunteering to come back and to help on this year's programme. Now this was entirely of their own prompting, no help from me, and completely of their own volition. And I think it speaks volumes for the value that they placed on their programme when they attended in 2012, but speaks even more for their sense of social and civic engagement, I hope gained from the programme, and citizenship, and a main desire to come back and do more. I'm impressed, and I have to say I'm immensely proud of them. It's my great pleasure to introduce you to two of them. Ladies and gentlemen, Az and Aya.
Before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are celebrating the end of the first phase of the Youth Leadership Development Program that lasted for the past 3 weeks. And during these weeks, we, the alumni, had the chance to come back. Not as students this time, but more like as helpers, ushers, and guiders. We had the chance to share our experience that we have acquired from this very same program with a new generation of students. And along these weeks, not only we have helped them, we've also tried our best to assess the mentors as possible and teach the students a little bit of what we have learned here already. And honestly, we have learned more than we imagined we would. By putting into action all those leadership skills that we have previously worked on in the past 2 years. Returning here with a bigger responsibility and in an entirely different position as a kind of mentors has allowed us to apply everything we have learned in this program into real life. Stepping onto stage, performing not plays or task presentations, but delivering educational material, helping students in all sorts of things, advising and ushering them. All these have enriched our experience. Enriching. This is how we would describe this experience as alumni. What we have done this year has strengthened and enriched and will support all that we have acquired in this marvelous opportunity at this marvelous program. In conclusion, I, on the behalf of all the alumni, would like to thank the Inspirational Development Group, IDG, and King Abdullah Fund for Development for giving us the opportunity to come back and share our experience. I would also like to thank the mentors for all the effort, and finally the students who have become friends to us for everything they have done. We hope that your future will be filled with success, joy, and satisfaction. When we first looked at you guys at day one, we were looking at a group of special students, but now we're looking at a stunning and incredible set of future leaders that hopefully will rise up with this country. The saying goes, men make history and not the other way around. In periods where there is no leadership, society stands still. Progress occurs when courageous, skillful leaders seize the opportunity to change things for the better. Thank you.
This year is a very special year to me, and to my fellow graduates, the class of 2014, who have finally graduated from school. And so we are no longer school students, we are now college students. We have joined the Youth Leadership Development Program 2 years ago, and we get attached to it, and as a result, some of us volunteered as mentors and others became alumni students that have joined this program with the aim of sharing their experiences with the next generation of what I like to call the leaders of tomorrow and the future ambassadors of Jordan. So, I can still remember the first day I stepped foot in the academy ground 2 years ago when I was 16 years old. And I was absolutely clueless. I didn't know what the program aim was about. And so I was walking and suddenly I heard mentors shouting out, red team, blue team, green team. And I was like, what's going on? And so when I got introduced to my team, of course there was the awkward moment of silence when everyone was speechless, no one was talking. And so in here I decided to make a joke, to break the ice, of course. But unfortunately the joke was not funny, and so I felt it more awkward. But day by day, I got introduced more to my team, and we started to discover our potential. We started to know each other more. And so, even though I remember my team didn't win any of the activities, but I think we won something more important, which is friendship, loyalty, and passion to the matrix of leadership. And that's why I'm standing here tonight. I stand here tonight to address the most important moments that have captured our phase of turning points and in preparation for our next journey, armed with traits of education, passion, responsibility, and integrity. Our beloved country, Jordan, has planted its first seed in youth power that soon grew until its roots stood up straight and firm, anchored in the land of victory. Its culture has not only embraced us with a strong educational background, but it has indulged us with a wonderful package of human ethics and ethical models to cope with in times of difficulty, for our human richness to become leaders who can serve and support our brothers and sisters during our career path and self-development. We are proud by the huge accomplishments that we have made, and we are inspired by what will be awaiting us next. We will always strive for the best, because that's what the Youth Leadership Development Program is all about. It's about learning that life is not only about earning, it's about giving. And to give, we have to sacrifice to help the less fortunate. To give means to share knowledge with others, to work out solutions for our current problems. It means to care for one another. Because those who are gifted for others are stronger and happier than those who are gifted for themselves. They say an effective followership is what defines a good leader. Well, we are the effective followers of education, and will always be the effective followers who will hold the message of wisdom and passion close to our threads of knowledge. And we are the effective followers who will soon be turned to successful leaders who will vow to be truthful to humanity, fighting for the better. And that's where true leaders come from. They are born from being effective followers to inspiring leaders who serve to lead. And today we stand as young leaders to tell the world that we're ready to challenge the impossibilities, to leave a mark on people's lives
and to serve our beloved country, Jordan. And while tomorrow brings a new journey, today marks the end of a chapter in our lives. And it's overwhelming that after 2 years of working, going wild, singing together and dancing together, doing very nice activities together, that we are down to the last few minutes in this program. So I want to leave you with some special words that I always say. I want you all to charge your potential to the highest and seek to go beyond borders, construct a building point, and work on it as high as you imagine potential ahead of it. Before, but this is a very emotional moment. And remember, you're not the only ones who are trying to make an extra effort to do something new. There are others as well who are waiting to hear your voices to make a strike a change towards success and victory. So go for it.
Great. So I get to follow that. Actually, I don't really. These programs are fantastic. They're great fun to be involved in. I said to the students this morning, we have an expression in England that we say herding cats. Imagine trying to get a whole load of cats moving in the same direction at the same time. It can be a little bit difficult, but then they have these moments of brilliance that make it just worthwhile. Moments like these. The thing is that running these programs is fantastic. It's great fun, but we can't do it ourselves. And because we've got so many students here, we've been incredibly fortunate that we've had a group of mentors working with us. And these are local Jordanian managers who have given their time to come and support this program and work with us and to work as mentors to the students. And they've been incredible. Their dedication and their commitment and their passion for what they've been doing has been quite fabulous. So it's only right that we should take this opportunity to have a few words from some of them. So we're very lucky that we have Malik and Nermin.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
It seems that I had a new habits in the last couple of weeks. Because a couple of weeks ago, I didn't think that I would start speech like that. Those young people affected me a lot. I work with young people, very young people, many different kind of young people, but those are different. To be honest, I don't know how I can wake up next Sunday without seeing such young youth running around me, chasing each other, to gain, to solve a problem, to have a challenge, to win another one. Actually, I'm very happy, but at the same time, I'm sad. I'm very happy because I see this potential in those such a big crowd of leaders. But I am very disappointed and angry, or maybe sad, because I will leave them by, I don't know, half an hour. I don't know if I can see you again, people. So I'm very, very sad in me.
Well, Malik, I don't think so. I agree with you guys because are you happy to be here, guys? Yeah! So they're happy, and we have to be super glad to see them. And it's really a privilege for me and all the mentors to see you guys and to see you how you make it. We did we did learn a lot. We are mentors with different backgrounds. Everyone came from different education background, business. Someone who had experience with youth, some people who didn't ever work with youth ever before. And it was really great to see you guys and learn from you. It was a learning experience. I should say this is a great program. This is a program that I wish all the Jordanian young people participate in. It's make a difference. We could see the difference. Could you see it?
Yes!
We did see it. Like, do you remember the first 3 days when we were silent and just assessed you guys? It was fun to see you and to do the marks and grades and comments, and then after that we see you now. Today, I'm super glad to see you guys. This is what you need to learn. What you share in 3 weeks, we learned it after years of experience. So you did learn it 3 weeks, but you will use it in your daily life, with your parents, with your friends. You will make your friends make decisions and make them happy in their life. You will be more active. You are the future of Jordan. I see Jordan through your eyes, guys. I'm so glad to see you.
I'm run out of words because those young people, finished all the English words in the dictionary. So
we were discussing Malik and I that we should there's no speech Malik. We can't say anything after that. And they were really good. So.
But I think that we all people, we owe you a big thanks for the KFD, for the IDG, for the alumni, the mentors, and also for the families who support those students to come and reach this place.
Okay, it is time for carnage. It is time for disruption. It is time for people to come and collect their certificates. Can I ask though, first of all, for Mr. Peter Miller, for Jimmy Young, for Mr. Ketterman, and General Arthur, would you please come with Martin to come up on stage to... The students, the graduates, they hated me this afternoon. They hated me this afternoon because I made them practice this in the hope that it would go smoothly. So fingers crossed it will now. So what we're going to do, as you may have gathered, we have 6 teams of students. We're going to bring them up one team at a time, and we're going to present them with their certificates, and then in their teams they will have a team photo. To help us with this, we have another one of the mentors, Adib, taking the stage now. Adib, when I asked Adib to do this, he looked at me a little confused. But the thing is that Adib is our longest serving mentor, because he was involved right from the start. He has been a fabulous support and ambassador for the programme for the last 3 years. So we've asked him to come up. He's going to read out the names of the students as they come up. So you should hear your friends and family's names being called out. So team 1, would you like to get ready? Okay, team 1. Well done, Team 1. Team 2, ready to
مريم مبروك. نعم بنا. عاصم موسى. حمد كرامشي. أحمد علامي. ليان زرعي. عبد الله بسطالي. عبد الله ملايين. تسنيم زينور. عدنان وتسنيم فرحان ودانيا ابو لبنان.
Big smiles, Team 2, come on, big smiles. Fantastic, well done, Team 2, Team 3. Team 3 to the stage.
رامية منصور.
يا وليه بس اطلع خدمني.
جوليانا السجاني.
اصل خدمني بس اطلع.
Again, لميا منصور.
شباب
جوليانا السجاني. عمر سراجة. أمل أبو جميل. علي الخيري. حمزة علي. يوسف الحمصي. بلال الهلالي. آية ربحي. عنان سيد.
احلى عمر.
Okay, well done, Team 3. So Team 4 to the stage, please.
فؤاد زغلول. ليلى الحاجبي. ديف ويلي. رائد زاهي. عمر أبو حسين. عمر كعبان. هادي مزال. رنين أبو راشد. نبيل صغير. سارة عناني. مصطفى جابر. رمى السعودي. عرفان. مهند الكومان. رشد اللبس. ليلى الشوبكي. يوبا العمري. مريم الجميلي. هبة الجالودي. محمد الجلال. روحي شاهين.
Well done, Team 5. Team 6.
لين حرامي. شهد الفران. حمد السلطي. إبراهيم الحبيب. أحمد الماضي. فواز القرشي. زين أبو علام. جمال القاعود.
لا لا انتوا خليكم انتوا لا اللي ورا كمان بليز. وقدموا لقدام شوي. ايوه يس. يا 1 2 كمان صورة.
Thank you to the alumni. So can we have the alumni, please?
بس اللي ورا بس اللي ورا.
For the first time in 3 weeks, the students did exactly what they were asked to do. I think we need to make sure that when we're training them in the future, that we have their parents here to keep an eye on them. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hand over to a director from IDG, Jimmy Gordon, who's going to introduce us.
Thank you, Stuart. Ladies and gentlemen, in times of conflict, and sadly there's so much of that around in the region at the moment, it's too easy to forget the benefits of cooperation and collaboration. The last 3 weeks just could not have happened without such great collaboration from KAFD, from the mentors, from the alumni, from the parents and from the young. And we were very privileged to have the opportunity, and I think you've seen tonight the benefits of collaboration and cooperation. We're also privileged in IDG to have had tremendous support from a man I believe epitomises the best of collaboration and cooperation, His Excellency Peter Millett, the British Ambassador. We've been very privileged to have his support, not just on this programme, but many other activities here in the Kingdom of Jordan. And I know he's a great friend of your kingdom, and I'm very proud to ask him to come up and join me on the platform. Thank you.
I really am lost for words after all the fantastic speeches and presentations that you've heard, and the awards ceremony, and the enormous excitement and enthusiasm that this programme has achieved. Jimmy has said this is all about cooperation, and part of my job is to try and promote cooperation, friendship, partnership between Jordan and the UK, and I think this programme is a fantastic example of it. But I think some of the themes that you've brought out are crucial to your interests in the future of Jordan. We've heard you are the future of Jordan. But one of the important themes I think the speakers brought out is the importance of skills in addition to knowledge. One of the speakers said that this course was all about inspiration, not memorization. And we all know that in the education system, there tends to be a very heavy focus on memorizing knowledge rather than using your skills. And I hope that this program has given you something to think about in terms of those skills. You know, you've achieved a great deal in the last 3 weeks, but you've still got a long way to go, and Jordan still has a long way to go with its progress and its reforms. But I think the more you can focus on those skills like self-confidence and so on, the better it will be for you. And one of those skills that you have learned is critical thinking, being able to challenge. I think the more that you, the youth of this country, can challenge your leadership, your political leadership, challenge even your teachers, even, if I could say so here, challenge your parents about what they're asking you to do. Developing your skills means going away and studying what you want to study. If you're interested in it, you'll be good at it. And within that university or further education, that's where you develop your skills. أريد كل بعض الكلمات بالعربي إذا ممكن. أيضاً أن أبارك الأهالي الموجودين هنا اليوم. لابد من أنكم فخورين بأولادكم. أولاد، أريد أن أقول أيضاً إنه مواجهة البطالة من أكبر التحديات في الأردن الآن. أخذنا التجربة البريطانية وقدر أهمية المعرفة، لكنها ليس كافية من دون المهارات والقدرات. مثلا ثقة بالنفس، القيادة، اتخاذ القرارات، إيجاد التواصل مع الزملاء، تحمل المسؤولية، التي هي الأساسيات والمطالبات التي يبحث عنها أي صاحب الأمل. لهذا السبب فإنني أرحب بهذا البرنامج، لأن تدريب الشباب والذين هم قادة ورواد الغد مهم جدا، ليس فقط لنجاحهم الشخصية، بل هو بالنهاية مهم لنجاح وتقدم واستقرار الأردن. عشان هيك أنا أتمنى لكم كل توفيق وأعطيك العافية.
And so it falls to me to say a few words to close the event. The first thing we need to do is say some thank yous. I know that you've been cheering and applauding people as the evening's gone on, but I really want to say this programme would not work and it would be the success it was without the support we get. So please, can we have a big round of applause for the mentors? For the alumni. I'm looking at Martin and Emily, and I know Ed's not here, but Fund for Development. Our guest speakers. The families that supported the And I know when I'm speaking for Ed, who's not here, and I'm speaking for Martin, and I'm speaking for Emily, when I say we are really proud of having had the chance to work with each and every one of you. Thank you to you. Give yourselves a round. But it doesn't finish here. This is just phase one. We're hoping that you're going to come back next year, where there will be another week of development, advanced leadership program, just 1 week, followed by some work placement, and then the opportunity for you to come back and present about your experience. And if you want to really complete this program, you need to come and do those things. But more than that, you need to make sure that you take the lessons that you've learned, not just over the last 3 weeks, but also during the assessment phase. Take those away, think about them, apply them. The action planning that we did today, go away, make that training worthwhile. Make this 3 weeks really worthwhile in your life. And we'll look forward to seeing you again next year. So to finish, as you know, our head office, IDG, is in London, in England. And 2 years ago, we were very lucky in London. We were given the opportunity to host the Olympic Games. We were very proud of that. And the thing is that, I don't know if you're aware, but when it's coming up to the start of the Olympic Games, when it's coming up to the opening ceremony, there is a lot of guessing, a lot of thought, a lot of speculation. Who will be the celebrity sportsman or the celebrity sportswoman who will carry the Olympic torch into the stadium and light the Olympic flame, and that flame stays lit throughout the Games? Would it be David Beckham, the footballer? Would it be Sir Steve Redgrave, the rower, who won gold medals at 5 different Olympic Games? And in the event, on the day, what happened was David Beckham carried the Olympic torch up the River Thames on a boat. And he handed it over to Sir Steve Redgrave. And he ran into the Olympic Stadium, and you can see there that picture on your right. He handed the flame over to 7 young men and women. 7 young men and women that are the future of sport in the United Kingdom. The torch was handed over to them. They were too young to take part in the Olympics. And they ran around the stadium in front of their families and they lit the Olympic torch. Programs like this is about us handing the torch to you. And we're asking you to light the future of Jordan. That's what this program is about. We wish you every success, and we really look forward to seeing you again next year for the next phase of your development. Thank you, everyone, for being here. There is one final thing to do, which is even more distressing and kind. We want to get one photo involving all of you. But first, before we do that, can I ask?
يلا لو سمحتوا يلا